Healing the Alpha's wound. Synopsis. He instructed me to tidy his room. My life took a turn for the worse that day, and I started living in hell. Although I had just turned 18 that day and discovered my mate was the Alpha, Jacob, I had always been treated like a slave and harassed by other members of the pack. He wounds me in the worst possible way by betraying the mate bond when I am in the same room, rather than by approving or denying me. I believe he's just a psychopath who enjoys torturing me. He claims that he keeps me because my wolf calms him. Why doesn't he let me go by turning me down? The beta of a nearby pack informed my closest friend, who, like me, is an omega, that his alpha was seeking me. When his family traveled to this pack to meet with the current alpha's parents for a meeting, I realized we had known one another since we were kids. The alpha arranges a visit after she calls him on the phone, and when he arrives, I learn that he is my second chance mate. How can this be when I'm still coupled? I've been looking for my fated mate for years, and I'm Alpha Chase Carter. I would close my eyes and imagine the red-haired child from my past whenever I considered what my partner might look like. I've never been able to forget her since I was always captivated by her attractiveness, even when she was little. Her red hair and green eyes made me think of a goddess in the body of a 7-year-old. I was 12 years old at the time. Are we able to establish a friendship? She is known by the name Amethyst. I must save her. Episode 1. He told me to come to his room to clean. Only he had an ulterior motive for my being in his room. As I was cleaning, a woman wrapped only in a towel walked into the room from the bathroom and glared at me. She walked over to the alpha, who was also wearing only a towel, standing in front of the large bed in his suite. He smiles at the woman, who looked at him quizzically as he shook his head. Don't mind her, she is nothing. She is here only to clean, he tells her. But you, on the other hand, the pain spreads and radiates all over my body as he begins to pleasure with her over and over again. I want to claw at my body and have the pain go away when I hear, yes, just like that. My alpha, she cries out his name in complete ecstasy. Hot tears fall as the pain intensifies and runs through my whole body. I hear my wolf howl and squirm in agony. There is nothing I can do. I fall and writhe on the floor, screaming in my agonizing pain as they continue to ignore me in their pleasure of each other. Then I hear them climax as he roars, and she screams. But while they are in pleasure, I was in pain. You see, the cruel alpha is my mate, and he just violated the sacred mating bond with another she-wolf, causing my pain. I don't know why the moon goddess matched me to an alpha that seemed to get off on my pain. When I woke this morning on my 18th birthday and discovered Alpha Jacob Tyler of the Blood River Pack was my mate, but instead of accepting or rejecting me, he uses it for his sadistic games. And today is the first of many painful sick means that he has planned for me. A few hours earlier, hello, my name is Amethyst Weber and today is my 18th birthday. As I wake up in my small room in the attic where I sleep, I pray to the moon goddess that she will grant me my mate and take me away from all the abuse I have suffered the past 10 years since the death of my parents. The Blood River Pack, where I was born and raised, decided after my parents' death to use me as a slave where they can use and abuse me. I do thank the goddess that no one has abused me, as I am saving my virginity for my mate as a special gift to him. I get up from bed and enter the bathroom, for which I am grateful. I take care of my business with a shower and get dressed in the hand-me-downs of jeans and a clean but stained-up t-shirt. As I was halfway down the stairs to the Alpha's floor on my way to the kitchen, I stopped as a wonderful scent of rain and pine hits me. Mate, my wolf Sadie says, all happy and excited. Just then Alpha Jacob's door flew open as he was sniffing. Spotting me, he stood there staring. Then he frowned, shaking his head. No. No way. Then he squinted at me and smirked, but then, my heart began to thump faster as I realized that Jacob Tyler, the new Alpha as his father, Alpha Kenneth Tyler, stepped down, is my mate. He walks over to me and lifts my chin with his fingers so I would look at him. He leans down and touches my lips with his. Such a pretty thing. He smiles. Too bad it had to be you. I planned to have such fun. He smirked. I need my room cleaned up, he said, suddenly standing to his full height of 6 feet 3 inches. And looks down upon my 5 feet 2 inches. I look down at the floor as we Omegas are not to look the Alpha in the eye. Come back after your kitchen duties. There was something in his voice, something mischievous in the tone. Yes, Alpha, I say, bowing my head, then head down the 3 flights of stairs towards the kitchen. I get to the kitchen and Mandy was already there to start breakfast. Good morning, Mandy, I say. Mandy is an Omega that works alongside me, who is a couple of years older and is mated to a very nice warrior. The only difference is I am the one that is used as a punching bag. Only because I was an orphan and had no parents to protect me. A few hours earlier, hello, my name is Amethyst Weber and today is my 18th birthday. As I wake up in my small room in the attic where I sleep, I pray to the moon goddess that she will grant me my mate and take me away from all the abuse I have suffered the past 10 years since the death of my parents. The Blood River Pack where I was born and raised decided after my parents' death to use me as a slave where they can use and abuse me. Amy, good morning and happy birthday. Amy, good morning and happy birthday. Thanks, I said as I grabbed the eggs and bacon from the fridge to help with breakfast. After the breakfast was done and the kitchen cleaned, I grabbed the cleaning supplies and head up to Alpha Jacob's suite to start the cleaning. I assumed he must be out for training as he usually is at this time. So, you can imagine my surprise when he walks out of his closet with only a towel wrapped around his waist. I couldn't help but admire his fine physique. He was nothing but muscles. Standing there smiling at me, he looked like a god. With brown hair and golden eyes, he looked yummy. Glad to see you can follow orders, he says to me as he walks towards his bed. I walked over to the fireplace and set the cleaning supplies down and began to polish the wood and chrome around the mantel. Yes, Alpha, I said, focused on the cleaning. Humph, since you can take orders, I expect you to follow this one. You are to stay right there where you are and no matter what happens you will not move or leave this room. Do I make myself clear? I look at him puzzled as to his words. Yes, of course, Alpha. Just then the bathroom door behind me opens and a tall blonde beautiful woman walks out wrapped in a towel. She walks past me glaring at me as she walked up to Jacob. She looked at him quizzically. He shook his head as he said, "Don't mind her, Stella. She is nothing. She is here only to clean," he tells her. But you, on the other hand, a sharp pain slowly starts in my chest as I gasped and grabbed my chest with my hand. I hear their moans as their passion grows hot and heavy for each other. He raises and then begins to suck on the spot on her neck that should be where a mating mark goes. As my pain begins to intensify, I dropped to my knees and looked up and watched. He looks back at me and smirks, "Watch, and do not stop watching. That is an order." He mind links me. From this view, I couldn't help but see him with her in pleasure while she gasps and then begins to moan. My breathing becomes shallow as I struggle to breathe. He is my mate, and he is torturing me and taking pleasure in it. The pain spreads and radiates all over my body as he begins to pleasure with her over and over again. I want to claw at my body and have the pain go away when I hear, "Yes, just like that. My alpha. You are so big and filling. I love it." Then she cries out his name in complete ecstasy. "Oh yes, this is what I need," he says as he growls his pleasure. Hot tears fall as the pain intensifies and runs through my whole body. I hear my wolf howl and squirm in agony. There is nothing I can do. I fall and writhe on the floor screaming in my agonizing pain as they continue to ignore me in their pleasure of each other. Then I hear them climax as he roars, and she screams. Of all the abuse these past 10 years, this is the worst. Having witnessed my mate, been with a she-wolf who is not his mate is excruciating. He violated the sacred mating bond with another, causing my pain. I lay still on the rug with tears falling from my closed eyes and couldn't move. I hear their labored breathing and the sound of kissing as she giggled, "Again," she says, and I hear his playful growl, then I hear her sigh, "Oh yeah." Then the bed creaks as he moves back into place and the pain that subsided, returns with a vengeance. I screamed as I hear them moan and grunt, the bed creaking. He had me suffering in pain in his room for hours, having a lot of X in front of me and not caring. I had never realized how cruel he was until that day. I used to think of him handsome and even had a crush on him. Even though he sat there while the others in the pack would beat me as he watched. He never touched me. The woman Stella only smirked at me and cruelly said on her way out the door after getting dressed, "The best pleasure I ever had. Too bad you can't experience it." Then she laughed. I was still laying on the rug next to the fireplace and couldn't move from all that pain I suffered. I hear footsteps and they stop in front of me. I open my eyes to see his bare feet in front of my face. "Get up," he orders, and as he is my alpha, no matter how I feel I have to obey. I slowly raise myself up and stand. He is wearing a robe now, but I only look down at my feet. He wraps his arm around my waist, pulling me close to him, and sniffs my neck. So sweet. Honey and roses, and so alluring. Too bad it is wasted on you. But, oh well. He chuckled. I intend to have so much fun with you. He sighed, now I want you to stay in this room with me from now on. I want your scent here. And you will sleep every night in my bed next to me. Your scent calms my wolf. I close my eyes. I want to say no, but he is my alpha. I am only an omega. I used to be of a higher rank along with my parents. My father was Jacob's father's beta and close friend. He and my mother were killed in a traffic accident while visiting another pack, the Sacred Moon Pack. I heard the alpha of that pack has yet to find his Luna. Of course, he just took over from his father 2 years ago. I heard he is a fair and just alpha and nothing like Jacob and his cruel ways. I wish the moon goddess had not mated me to this cruel man. I have no idea what horrors wait for me. If today was an example, I shudder at what more I will have to endure. I wish he would just reject me so I can accept and no longer be under the bond and pain. Why? I whisper. Why, what? Why are you doing this? Why not just reject me? Why make me suffer? Because your scent calms my beast and I need him calm. If I reject you, he will go crazy, and besides, he smirks at me, you're not too bad looking and I am having too much fun. He sneers. It was then I realized he is not as handsome as I once thought he was. He is cruel. Now get up and when I come back you best be in that bed. I looked at him in horror. You heard me. That is an order. I looked at him in horror. You heard me. That is an order. But his look along with his growl stops me. Yes, Alpha, I whisper looking down at my feet. Good girl. He sniffs me one more time. So sweet. Then he walks into the bathroom, and I hear the shower. I slowly climb onto the bed where he wants me. The bed still has the stinking smell and it's making me feel sick. I climb under the covers as I face the wall and put my face into the pillows so I wouldn't have to smell the scent of my mate and that she-wolf whore. The memory of their moans echoes in my head. I didn't know that it could cause such physical pain. I heard it hurts when a mate sleeps with someone other than their mate, but I thought it was an emotional hurt, not a real physical pain. I am so traumatized over the whole ordeal. I was so wrapped up in my thoughts of horror that I jumped when the bed dipped. So good. He says, sniffing my hair. I may not desire you as my mate, and I will not leave my mark on you, but I will have my way with you because you are mine. He says in my ear. Nice. He pushes himself against my backside, and I feel he is full of desire, and this time for me. Hasn't he had enough with that she-whore? I feel his lips kissing my neck and I shiver. The worst thing is because of the bond it makes it difficult to resist. He is my mate and refuses to reject me, so he can use the bond to make me submit. My body begins to respond even as I try not to. I don't want to. He is a cruel mate, yet my body is betraying me. Oh, goddess, I breathe out as I close my eyes. Being a virgin, I never knew the pleasures before. I never even touched myself. His touch is foreign to me. So is the pleasure he is granting me. This is your reward for being a good girl today and doing as you were told. He whispers in my ear as he nibbles my earlobe. He turns my body towards him as his lips find mine. This happens to be my first kiss. Relax, you will enjoy this. He says against my lips. You're a virgin. He stated, everyone believed you a whore sleeping around with others. He laughs, boy were they wrong. He kisses me again. Even though I felt pleasure, unlike anything I ever felt. I hated him and my body for betraying me. I curse this bond that I had no control over because Jacob refuses to reject me to free me. After he pulls out, he turns me on my side, my back against his front, and holds me. That was better than I thought it would be. He whispers in my ear, kissing my neck. Yeah, this is going to be fun. You continue to be a good girl, you will get more rewards like that one. Tears begin to fall as I suddenly feel ashamed. I need this bond broken and I need to escape. I know he plans to continue more torture and pain. He has so many women flaunting themselves at him, and he always has women coming and going out of this room. I have witnessed it so many times, coming down from my room in the attic. My body won't be able to take more of that pain. I have to leave. I just have to somehow break this bond. I am hot and sweaty, and it feels good. I love training with my men. I am the alpha of the Sacred Moon Pack, and we have to keep ready. The rogue attacks keep happening near our borders, and we have to be ready to protect the pack. We get back to the pack house and I go up to my room on the 5th floor. That whole floor is dedicated to me and my future mate. I open my bedroom door to find Christine, my father's beta's daughter, lying on my bed. What are you doing in my room? Oh, come now, Chase. What do you think? You know it's been a while since we had been with each other, and I am for you. She cooed at me. I sighed. You know I gave that up to save myself for my mate. I said, tossing her the robe she came in with from the floor. I want you out, Christine. Party pooper. What if you don't find your mate? Then what? Then I go without, I said, grabbing a clean towel from the closet for a shower. I am heading in to take a shower now. You best be gone by the time I come out. I step into my bathroom and close the door. Turning on my shower, I adjust the temperature, then take off my clothes and step in under the spray. Now don't get me wrong, Christine is a beautiful woman with a body to die for. Only she is not my mate. But she can be a pain. Before I became alpha, yes, I did have my fun and sleep with her and many others as well. I was young and dumb back then, and I didn't have any thoughts for my future mate and Luna. As alpha, I grew up and am excited to find my mate. I know she will be beautiful, strong, and perfect for me. I take my shampoo and wash my hair and rinse. Then I soap up my body and daydream about my future mate and smile. After my shower, I turn off the water, towel dries myself off and wrap my towel around my waist and walk out into my room. I look over at my bed and notice Christine has left. I grab a pair of briefs and put them on along with my sweatpants and t-shirt and go out and head towards the kitchen downstairs. I pass a few pack members along the way, and they bow in greeting to me. I walk into the kitchen and find my beta Kyle making out with an Omega kitchen help. I clear my throat and they jump away from each other looking guilty. Chase, Kyle says as he looks down at it. Now, what is her name? Oh yeah, Millie. I raise my eyebrow at them and smirk. Kyle sighs and places his arm around Millie. I should have told you sooner. Told me what? That you found your mate. I had my suspicion as Kyle was acting differently these past couple of weeks. How? He paused. Did you know? Your actions the last couple of weeks said it all. I was wondering when you planned to tell me. You mean it doesn't upset you that she is an Omega? Why should it? It is fate, a gift from the moon goddess herself. Why should I interfere with fate? I asked. He and Millie looked at each other and smiled. Go, I said. Get your mate moved in and settled. You deserve your happiness. Yes, Alpha. They both said and left me alone in the kitchen. I sure am happy for my beta for finding his true love and mate. I can't wait for my happiness to come with my mate. I wonder where she is and if she belongs to another pack or not. Whoever she is will be treated like a queen. My queen. For some reason, a set of soft brown eyes and auburn red hair comes to mind. When I was younger, I remember we had visited a neighboring pack and I was captivated at watching a beautiful young girl of 7 playing outside while my parents were in a meeting with their Alpha and Luna. I was 12 at the time and couldn't take my eyes off her. She had long auburn hair and large soft brown eyes that twinkled when she smiled at me. For some reason, that day was embedded in my mind, and I thought of that girl often. I never even knew her name. Sighing, I walked to the refrigerator and opened it. Grabbing a water bottle and some fruit, I went back up to my room. I sat down near the window with a book and began to read. My mind kept wandering off and I couldn't concentrate, so I put the book on the table and looked out the window instead. Again, my thoughts went to that day so long ago. Her beautiful smile and those dimples on her cheeks. For such a young thing, she was stunning. In the sun, her hair looked like a fiery waterfall. Her lovely eyes and full lips. She would be about 18 now. I bet she is even more beautiful as a woman. I also hope whoever became her mate treats her like a queen. I wonder if I will ever see her again. But in all this time our paths have never crossed again. I highly doubt I will see her. So, why is it I cannot get her out of my mind? I give up looking outside in the dark and decide to go to bed. I climb onto my bed, turn off the lights, and stare up at the ceiling, hands behind my head. My eyes grow heavy, and I drift to sleep. Dream, I see her and she is in pain. A lot of pain and screaming. I know it is her by the red in her hair and soft brown eyes. I try to reach out to her, but she can't see me. I am here for you. I will save you. I cry as she grabs her chest in pain. She is laying on a rug writhing in pain and agony. I hear moans and groans, then laughter. Amethyst, stand up and come closer. I hear a male voice order. Amethyst. That must be her name. Slowly gets up and walk over to a bed where I see a man and another woman in a position. On this bed now, mate. He orders the beautiful woman. She slowly climbs up and he grabs her neck and says in her pained face, "Watch us this close. I want to see how the bond can cause you pain." She is panting from the pain as she nods, "Yes, Alpha." She whispers. As a man, Alpha continues to bring joy as my mate. My mate? Watches and screams in pain. I wake up with a start, panting and sweaty. What was that? If I am being shown my mate, she is bonded to a cruel man that revels in her pain. Amethyst, I say. Wherever you are, I will find you and rescue you. I can't move. I woke this morning in pain as my mate was again getting his thrills with the same woman, Stella. I crawl out of the bed in pain and lay down on the rug away from the two. And pull a lap blanket from the chair to cover me. My mate and Stella were kissing and fondling. She moans as he stretched her, as I know how it feels. I still can't believe he took my virginity last night and then woke to have more sex with Stella. He had to have planned it and told her to come early morning. Their moans and groans get loud when all of a sudden, I hear my mate call to me. Amethyst, stand up and come closer. Grabbing my chest and holding the lap blanket, I slowly stand and walk over to the bed where I just woke from. On this bed now, mate. He grabs me by my neck and brings my face towards his as he says, "Watch us this close." I want to see how the bond can cause you pain. Yes, Alpha, I whisper as I lay there screaming in pain and my wolf howling and writhing inside also in pain. After they climaxed, they continue lying beside me on the bed. All of us are panting but for different reasons. Theirs for pleasure, mine for the pain I endured. Suddenly my mate moves and gets between my legs with a wicked grin. He removes the lap blanket and puts his face between my legs and begins licking me. I am powerless to do anything because of the bond. I feel Stella move and settle under my mate's groin area on her back, and I begin to hear slurping noises and knew she was giving him a blow job. Pain again hits my chest. I am panting from pain and pleasure as I know this is what he wanted from me. I grunt from the pain yet moan in the pleasure. Tears fall from my eyes as my body is confused at both sensations. He begins to moan in his pleasure as Stella continues star. Oh, yeah, baby. Like that. Anything for my Alpha. She coos at him. I just stay quiet. I suddenly feel him towards me. You taste so good, my mate. So good. He doesn't stop even though I am sensitive, he continues doing. Then he groans, I am coming Stella. So good, Stella says. Jacob moves away from me and gets up from the bed. Get dressed, Stella. Then go. But come back tomorrow afternoon for more fun. He pauses and winks at us. I have Alpha meetings and training today and tomorrow. He leans towards Stella and kisses her passionately. Then he kisses me on my forehead. Good girl. He says to me walking into the bathroom to take a shower. Stella looks at me and grins as she puts her clothes back on. That was fun. See you tomorrow, she says slipping out the door. After the Alpha showered and then dressed, he kissed me one last time before he left saying he would be back later tonight. I must have fallen asleep as I woke. I felt hungry. I got up and dressed and went down to the kitchen. Mandy was there cooking and as soon as she saw my appearance cried, "Oh, my goddess! What happened to you? Seems I am mated to the Alpha," I say, and she was suddenly there hugging me. Seems everyone knows how cruel this Alpha can be. Well, only to slaves. It must have been awful for you. She led me to a stool, and I sat and placed my head in my hands, and cried. He took my virginity, I said looking up at her. Mandy was the only one who knew I was still a virgin. I sniffed and said, he hurt me. He caused me so much pain. How? She asked, do you want to talk about it? I do, but promise me it never leaves this room. Just between you and me. I promise. You know you can trust me. You are like a sister to me. I nod and begin to tell her. He asked me to come and clean his room yesterday after finding out I was his mate. I grabbed the cleaning supplies and went up there to clean. I thought by that time he would be out training. I took a deep breath to calm myself and continued. He was still there in a towel. He ordered me that whatever happens, I was to not leave the room. So, I began to clean after I agreed. A woman came out of the bathroom in a towel and I fought the tears, and they begin to have sex in front of me and remember what has been taught to us about mates sleeping with another that is not their mate. Mandy nodded gasping as she realized what I was about to say. Oh, my goddess, she whispered. It is real pain. I didn't think it was, but it is, and it hurt so bad I couldn't breathe. They had been with another almost all day. Then she left and he ordered me to get on his bed. Then he used the bond against me. He claimed it was my reward for being a good girl. I felt tears fall down my cheeks like a waterfall. Oh, I felt her arms around me in a comforting hug. Then this morning I woke to more pain and the woman was back in bed next to me with them going hot and heavy again. Then he went down on me as she gave him a blow job and confused my body with pain and pleasure. Where are they now? She left and he has alpha stuff to do and won't be back until tonight. I wiped the tears from my eyes. I came down for food and I was going to change the bedding. Here. Many placed down a bowl of stew in front of me. Thank you and thank you for listening. I tried to smile and failed, so I just ate instead. Of course, she sighed, we need to get you away from here. I agree, but the bond. He refuses to reject me, but he refuses to mark me as his Luna. I am only a slave to him. Yeah, otherwise he will always cause you pain by sleeping with others. Even if you did leave. She says, lowering the heat under the stew for dinner. Exactly, I sigh, seeing no way out of this. I call in a meeting with my beta and a few of my best men. I am sitting behind my desk in my office and look right at my beta before I speak. Has your mate settled in? He smiled. Yes, she is all moved in. I am happy for my beta. It is always a gift to find one's fated mate. I nod. Good. I sighed and finally addressed what is on my mind. I need you to do some research for me. I need you to find anything you can on a woman named Amethyst. Last I saw her she was about 7 years of age, and I was only 12 at the time. She was from the Blood River Pack. I need the information ASAP. Yes, Chase, I will get right on it. Do you know her last name? I sigh, I do not. But she has auburn red hair and brown eyes. He nods. I will look into this and get back to you as soon as I find anything on her. Then he moves his head to the side. Do you think this woman to be your mate? I nod. There is a possibility of it. Kyle smiles. I really hope she is. You deserve to have your mate. I nod, as he stands to leave. I really hope so. I say to myself, thinking of that dream. Either way, what that man is doing to his mate goes against the code of all wolves. I don't care who it is. He must pay for his crime against her. Later that day I was working out at training when I stopped as I saw Kyle walking toward me with a folder in his hands. I meet him as he stops and says, her name is Amethyst Weber. I frown. Weber. I shake my head. I know that name. They came to visit my father for a meeting. Mr. Weber is the beta for Moon River. Kyle cut me off. Was the beta. He and his wife were killed in a traffic accident about 10 years ago. They were heading back from here. The meeting that I remember. I feel bad for Amethyst's loss. Any more info? He nods. After that, her rank was lowered to Omega and subjected to serving the house as a slave. She was beaten and abused. My hands tightened beside me as my claws extended into my fists. That beautiful child I witnessed dancing and feeling carefree in the backyard as I watched subjected to slavery. I felt so angered I wanted to punch something. Is she still in that pact? I don't know, this was all there was on the girl. There was also this. He hands me a photo and it was a woman with a sad expression on her face as she stared into the camera. The same woman from the dream. I take the photo. Thank you. I want you to take Sam and any other with you and go to the Blood River Pack and see if you can locate her. Ask around. See if she is there, or if she had been transferred to another pack. Yes, my alpha, he bows and turns and walks back to the pack house. I walk back to my opponent for more training. I need this now. I need to hit and fight even if training. My mate being abused and used makes me angry. I know she is the one. Why the goddess had mated her to someone cruel was beyond me. She needs to get released from his bond before it destroys her. I don't understand the goddess' plan, but I must trust in her and believe that Amethyst and I will be together. A couple of days later. I was beside myself. All I did was train, pace, and wonder. Just when I might go berserk, Kyle comes into my office. Well? I demanded. He shook his head. No one seemed to know anything. I did leave some cards with my name and number just in case by chance someone might know something. I sigh, running my hand through my black hair. I hope someone calls. I need to find her. I sympathize. If it were my mate I would be just as desperate to find her. I stop pacing and turn to look at my best friend. I nod, thank you, my friend. I sigh, go on. Go to your mate. I am sure she will be happy you are home. I smile at him. He places his hand on my shoulder and squeezes, I promise, we will find her. Then he turns and walks out the door. A few agonizing days later, my beta flies into my office and hands me his phone. I look up at him puzzled. You are going to want to hear what this woman has to say. He tells me as I take the phone to my ear. Hello? This is Alpha, Chase. Alpha. I hear a woman whisper on the other line. I found your beta's card after overhearing him ask about my friend. Your friend? I ask. Yes, she is being tortured by her mate and our alpha. Your alpha? He is an alpha and mistreating his mate. Yes. I hear sobbing on the other end. No one likes this alpha, he is mean to all the lower staff. And now he hurts my best friend, Amy. She says through tears. Amy. Amethyst. Amy is the nickname I call her. I need to know why you are looking for her. I was not sure if I should reveal anything to this woman. I don't even know if I can trust her. How do I know you are telling me the truth? Here. I hear a few notifications coming through on the phone and look to see what she sent. It was pics of Amethyst and one pic of Amethyst and another woman smiling into the camera. The last pic is Amy and me. As I said, she is my best friend and I want her safe. She sniffled, are you going to tell me what you want with her? I believe I could be her second chance mate. She gasped, then her voice sounded relieved. She deserves to be happy. Please do what you can. If you need me or my mate to help, call my number. I promise you. I intend to do whatever it takes to get her out of there. She whispered even more, thank you. Once a day the alpha allows me to go down to the kitchen so I can eat. Most days he keeps me locked up in his room while having his way with me, and other women, or having me suffer in pain while I am forced to watch. On the times I do go down to the kitchen he has a guard always following and watching me. I am just glad despite the pain he puts me through he has never hit me. Unlike the others in the pack. On my way to the kitchen, I see a group of girls standing around chatting. I hear someone say as I walk past. "Yeah, she is always in the room with the alpha." Another says. "OMG, you can even hear her scream. He must be that good. I wouldn't mind getting a piece of him if he really is that good. He is so handsome and strong." Then they laughed as I walked by. If only they knew my screams are screams of pain and not pleasure. I feel tears filling my eyes, but I refuse to let them fall. Once inside the kitchen my friend Mandy runs and gives me a hug and whispers. "I have something important to tell you." Then she steps back and glances at my bodyguard and I nod in understanding. As I ate the meal she prepared for me, she sat next to me on the stool at the island with her back to the guard blocking his view of me. "Do not respond but look casual for what I have to tell you, okay?" She whispers as low as she can. I nod my agreement, curious as to what she has to say to me. Good thing the guard is far enough next to the door that even with his wolf hearing he would not be able to hear her words. "Someone has been searching for you." She begins and my eyes widen before I settle my expression. "There was a neighboring beta from another pack asking around about you and leaving several cards with his number on them. I snuck one of the cards." She paused, asking out loud, "How is the food?" "I tried a different recipe. It is very good." "Thank you, Mandy." I slowed my eating so she could finish telling me what this is all about. I called the number, and the beta handed his phone to the man that ordered the search. "He is an alpha of another pack. But I don't know which pack." She continues to whisper. "He claims he is your second chance mate. I told him everything that is happening to you here. I believe he is going to plan a rescue." I choked on my food as she told me this. "Oh my gosh, are you okay? Here, drink this water." She hands me a glass of water and I drink it. Is it possible that even before one is rejected the moon goddess could bring a second chance mate? Does this mean all this pain and suffering will finally come to an end? I take Mandy's hand and squeezed it and mouth, "Thank you, I finally have something to hope for. I just have to stay strong a little while longer. I am glad that Jacob never intends to mark me. He has never even told anyone he was mated. I just cannot believe how many women in this pact are whores, and don't even care that while he is having sex with them, I am in the room suffering in pain. Could be the thrill of being with an alpha that they enjoy. Sometimes he brings multiple women with him and drinks heavily with them. So far, he has not included me in those. Only the pain is still there. I have been trying to stay strong with the hope I now carry in my heart, but the pain all the time is beginning to weaken not only me but my wolf Sadie. I hate that he is making my wolf suffer like this. I can't help but wonder how his wolf Rayon feels about what Jacob is doing. After all, he claims my presence calms his wolf. But his wolf must know what the pain is doing to Sadie. After all, they are mates too. It was after one of these orgies that I am on the rug next to the fireplace breathing heavily with tear stains on my flushed cheeks that I speak to Sadie. "Just hold on, Sadie. Our new mate will come and rescue us." Soon the suffering will stop. I hope you are right. She says weakly. I hope you are right. Hope is all we have, girl. I hope he is right about being our second chance mate. I don't want to believe that the moon goddess could be this cruel. She isn't. I should know. I commune with her on the full moon nights. There has to be a reason only known to her what we are going through this. I wish I knew what it was. I say, closing my eyes. Me too. Sadie says in a whisper. I had my beta forward me the pics of my mate and the phone number of her friend. I am sitting at my desk, staring at her beauty on my phone. From what her friend told me, the mate she is mated to continues having relations with others while my mate suffers in pain. I have to come up with a plan to save her from that suffering. Only the tricky thing is, how can I do without starting a war between packs? Our parents had placed a long-term treaty with the Sacred Moon and Blood River packs. I cannot break that treaty. Oh, Moon Goddess! I could use some divine help here. I close my eyes and say a prayer. I open my eyes and pull out the map to mine and other pack territories nearby and notice Blood River borders mine. Convenient. I smile as I realize I may be able to use this fact. I take my cell and send a text to this Mandy woman and ask if she knew if the Alpha would ever allow Amethyst out for a run with her wolf. If he does, it could be my chance to at least speak to her. My phone pings back and I read the message. I really don't know. If he does, she would be under guard. I understand. I am thinking of a plan to at least be able to chat with her. I could see if he will allow me time with her and take her to my room where you can FaceTime each other in secret. I thought about what she said and nodded to myself that could work for a time being. I just need to speak to her. Can you try and make that happen? I ask. I promise to do my best. Good thing the Alpha likes my mate, he is a warrior, and I can get him to convince the Alpha that he will watch over Amy. That makes me smile. Okay, it is a plan then. Keep me posted. And thank you, Mandy. No problem. Anything to help my best friend. Okay, now it is a waiting game. I open my laptop and begin to do things that alphas do. A couple of hours later my phone rings and I look at the number and see it is Mandy calling. Hello. Is this? I am sorry, I don't know your name. Hello. Is this? I am sorry, I don't know your name. The sound of this woman's voice is like a breath of fresh air. Amethyst. Yes. Oh, thank the goddess. My name is Chase. I am the Alpha of the Sacred Moon Pack. Can we video chat? I hear a notification on my phone to accept a video call. Once I accept, I heard her gasp. She is beautiful but looks so tired. Hey, beautiful, I say smiling. Is it true? She asked, are you really my second chance mate? That is what the moon goddess showed me in a dream. She closes her eyes and sighed. Then I noticed a teardrop slide down her cheek. I was beginning to think she hated me. No, the goddess wouldn't hate you, my princess. Why this is happening I have no idea, but I promise you. I will do everything within my power to get you out of there. She smiled for the first time. I will hold that hope in my heart. I can't talk long, but I will try and do my best to come and chat with you again. Stay strong, my princess. I will rescue you from that hell. She nods and was about to say something more when I heard a quick whisper. Hang up now. Then the connection was lost. I sat back staring at the phone. Before she hung up, she looked terrified. I pray she hung up in time and was not caught. I wouldn't want her being punished because of me. After talking with her, I am more than convinced that she is my mate. The urge to go and bring her back is strong. Yet I know I have to bide my time. Soon, my love. Soon I am at the training field training with new warriors in training. I watch and study as they train, and I smile. These are going to make fine warriors, says Kyle, my beta, as he walks up to me. I nod, that they will. We have the strongest warriors out there. I agree. I FaceTimed with her. I say. He looked surprised. You did? How is she? Trying to be strong, but she didn't look so good. I can tell she is suffering a lot. I turn to my beta. We need to come up with a way to save her without breaking the treaty. I agree, but how? I shake my head. I am trying to figure it out. But in the meantime, she plans to try and keep in touch with me through her friend's phone. I am glad you got to talk to her. Seeing you should give her some hope. Yet, she said as much. After talking to her, I am more convinced she is my mate. So, now this is a mission to save the Pax Luna, Kyle says with excitement. I smile at his enthusiasm. We have been needing a Luna and she is perfect. I am lying in bed and looking at the picture I had printed out and framed on my bedside table. My mate, my Luna. Just thinking about her I am hard. I am wishing to the goddess that it could be her hand around me. I am so hard it is hurting. I need relief. I begin to imagine my mate with me in her small hands, lovingly whispering sweet words only for me. I gasp and then groan as she kisses the tip with her soft lips, then she licks the precum and moans as she does. Tastes so good. I hear her say. All for you, princess. All for you. In my mind, I see her smile as she takes what she can into her mouth as I am large and thick. It feels so good. Ugh, what you do to me, princess? I love it. She sucks me hard and with her hand continues stroking me. I feel my balls tighten and knew I am about to come. Oh, baby, I love you, I say just as I come all over my hand and stomach. After I turn and look at my princess's picture, soon we will be together. I promise. And that is a promise I intend to keep. The moment I saw Alpha Chase, my heart skipped a beat. He was far more handsome than I ever thought Jacob was. With his dark brown hair and light blue eyes, and he had a 5 o'clock stubble on his handsome face, making him look beautiful. What impressed me most was the kindness in his eyes and the way he spoke. His voice was like pure honey for my wounded soul. I was sad I couldn't chat longer with him, as Jacob only gave me 10 minutes to spend with Mandy. Good thing Stephen, Mandy's mate, was keeping a watch out as Jacob was coming down the hall to fetch me, and I had to quickly get off the phone. Sadie, what do you think? I asked, wanting to know if she felt something. Poor thing is still weak from all the suffering. Yes, Amy. I felt it. What he spoke and what I hear from the moon goddess, it is true, he is our second chance mate. She said weakly in my head. She is so weak she just lays there. Try and hang on, girl, we now have hope. Yes, hope. Jacob had dragged me back to his room by my arm. Shower and change into this. He throws a dress and undergarments at me. Yes, Alpha, I say and head into the bathroom to shower. When I come out, Stella is there in an embrace with the Alpha, but talking, not kissing, so I felt no pain. Jacob turned and looked at me and smiled. That's better. Right, Stella? Stella says while glaring at me. She is at least a few inches taller than I am and looks like a model. Before we go down to dinner, I want to announce to you, mate, that Stella here is my chosen mate to be my Luna. He smirked at me as if it would bother me. We will have her Luna ceremony in a couple of weeks. And you will help plan it. I bow my head. What about me? What about you? Jacob asked. Where do I fit in? Are you going to reject me? I looked up at him, hopeful. Absolutely not. You will serve us both in pleasure and keep my wolf calm. That will be your purpose. Yes, Alpha, I say, bowing my head. Now, since that is settled, we all three are going down to dinner. My eyes grew wide as he never had me go down and eat with them. But you never have me with you in public, I say, surprised. Well, now I am. I need you near to keep my wolf calm, as I already explained. Yes, Alpha. Of course. We go downstairs, but instead of me sitting next to him in the Luna seat, he had placed Stella there, and me on her other side. Members of the pack looked at us and bowed to Jacob and Stella as they presented themselves as a couple. Mandy and another Omega came in and served the dinner to everyone and looked surprised when she noticed me sitting next to Stella. She inclined her head towards Stella, and I nodded slightly, so Mandy was the only one to see it. Now she will know the woman who, along with Alpha Jacob, has me suffering in pain. I look down and begin to eat. To be honest, it doesn't bother me that I won't be considered Luna to this pack. Not after all the abuse everyone has put me through. I can't wait to be out of here and away from all this suffering. I pray to the goddess that it will be soon. After we eat, there was a gathering in the great room, and Alpha Jacob and Stella had me follow behind like the servant that I am, as they walked in like royalty, as everyone bowed and smiled at the couple. Jacob then turned to me and ordered me, go help serve the drinks and food. Yes, Alpha. I turn and Mandy places a tray in my hands with drinks on it. They make me sick. She whispers in my ear. I just nod, turn, and walk around serving the drinks to people. There was the daughter of the old beta that hated me and was the worst one to pick on me. Her name is Tiffany, can you believe it? And her name fits. There were many people at this gathering, and of all things I didn't see the foot that suddenly stuck out in my path, tripping me and making me fall with all the drinks on the tray, crashing around and on me. I look up to see Tiffany smirk at me. Oops, my bad. Then she laughs and walks away. Get this cleaned up. I hear a female voice behind me. I look over my shoulder and see Stella barking the order, and Jacob standing there glaring at me, shaking his head. I pull the tray closer to me and begin to pick up the pieces of glass. I already had landed on a few shards as I fell and was bleeding from cuts on my legs and hands. Once I was done cleaning it up, I went into the kitchen to put the tray away as Mandy walked in carrying a first aid kit. Come, sit on the stool, she said as I complied. Sitting there she took out the tweezers and began to pull small slivers of glass from my cuts. Sometimes I want to smash Tiffany in the face, she says, looking up at me, and we both broke down laughing. She said exactly what I was feeling. She had witnessed Tiffany many times causing trouble towards me. I sighed, if all goes well, I won't be here for long. Oh, and did you hear? I think he plans to announce it tonight, but Stella is his chosen mate to become Luna. She scoffed, and what about all those other women? I don't believe he will give them up, he enjoys women's attention too much. I shrugged my shoulders, besides, I think Stella is bi, she seems to like the other women also. They always are having orgies together. I just thank the goddess, they never include me. But all I do is lay on the rug and suffer in pain. But that is still too much. I hate knowing how much pain they are causing you. I hug my friend, I know, and I pray it ends soon. It has been a couple of days and I have been reading the treaty thoroughly in hopes of finding something that would help. I have seemed to have read a few discrepancies, so I thought I should make it a point to go see Alpha Jacob personally to talk about it. It is also a way I can visit in hopes to see Amethyst. Kyle, my beta, made all the arrangements and set it up so I will stay at the pack house for at least a week. This way I hope to get a feel of what is happening to my mate. He told Samuel, the beta of the Blood River Pact, that I want to observe how they train to get new ideas for training. They were all for it and no one suspected a thing. I text Mandy to let her know to give Amethyst the message that I am coming for a week's visit. This way she won't give anything away when she sees me. This is Amy, are you really coming? I smile as I realize she must have been near her friend when I sent the message. Yes, my princess, I am coming and will be staying a week. I am hoping to be able to sneak some time with you alone so we can talk. I would love that. I pray the goddess allows us a time together. Me too, my sweet one, me too. She didn't message back, but that is okay as I will soon be leaving in a couple of days to go to her pack. I cannot wait to see her. If the reason is accurate, and her mate is only keeping her because he wants to see her suffer, and to be there to calm his wolf, then I am pretty sure he will be having her close to him from time to time. As the plan was made, I felt my wolf Triton getting excited. He wants to see his mate. I can't blame him because so do I. She is all I can ever think of these days. I finish up my business and head up to my room and take a shower and go to bed. On the day I leave for Blood River, I leave my Gamma Randall Gaines in charge, as Kyle and a few warriors will be going with me. I get into the passenger seat of the black SUV that Kyle will be driving, and the other two SUVs will have 3 warriors each for our protection in case there is any trouble. We head out and in a couple of hours, we enter Blood River Pack territory. For another half hour, we see the pack house and enter through the gate and drive up near the large double doors. I see Alpha Jacob, and who I suspect is his chosen for Luna, along with my mate standing behind the two, as well as a man who too suspect is his beta. I climb out of the SUV and walk up to Alpha Jacob with my hand extended. Welcome to the Blood River Pack, Alpha Chase, he says as he takes my hand in greeting. This is my Luna Stella as well as my beta Samuel Scott, and behind us is my Luna's handmaiden. He introduces them. So, he is calling my mate his Luna's handmaiden. I bow to his Luna, shake hands with Samuel, and smile a greeting to my mate. She is even more beautiful in person, and I had not realized how small she is. She gives me a glance and a small smile so as not to be obvious about the fact we know each other. I introduce my beta and Jacob invites us in. We have prepared a feast of a lunch for us unless you prefer to go up to your rooms to freshen up first. Alpha Jacob asked as we walked into the pack house. Shown to our rooms will be nice, I say as Jacob nods. Yes, of course. I will have Amethyst show you to your rooms. She knows which ones. He turns to my mate and nod to her. Yes, of course, Alpha. Then she looks at my beta and me, if you will follow me. She begins to walk up the stairs and we follow behind. She takes Kyle to the third floor and showed him to his room. Then we walked up one more flight of stairs as she said, "This is the Alpha floor. Your room is right over here," she said looking down. As she glanced up, I nod, "And which room is your Alpha in?" "Across the hall." I am thinking to myself, good. I feel I need to be close by. I take her hand and of course, we feel the sparks already from the mating bond and she gasped looking fully at me now. "It really is true," she whispers. I lead her into my room and take her in my arms. I just need to feel her against me. I know I cannot kiss you for he would feel it. But I just needed to feel you once in my arms. She sighed and held onto me too. "I promise as soon as I can figure a way to get you away from here I will. Right now, there is a treaty in place and if I got you out by force it will cause a war." I explained to her. "I understand. I will stay strong and wait." "Do you think he will feel it if I kiss your head?" "Sadly, I don't know. I wouldn't take that chance right now," she said pulling away. "I need to get back before he gets suspicious." I nod and watch her go out the door. I sigh, "Soon my love, soon." Oh, my goddess, he is here and so handsome and tall. Taller than Alpha Jacob's and when he held me, there were sparks everywhere on my body. It felt like home. He is so different from Jacob. After leaving his room I go back downstairs as instructed. Jacob had Chase's warriors settled in a bunk room for visiting warriors with their alphas. I am now instructed to help see to the lunch, so I walk into the kitchen where Mandy is working on the meal. I walk over to her and whisper, "He is here," in her ear. She gasps and turns to look at me, "Tell me about him." She whispers back, "Oh, my goddess, he is so dreamy and tall." As I go on, she smiles at me, and I turn beet red. Then I giggle, he hugged me and there were the mating sparks. He is my second chance mate. Sadie has been excited since he showed up and his smell, sea water and chocolate, so divine. I say dreamily. "Well, remember, no matter how excited you are there is still Alpha Jacob." My smile left me. Of course, I cannot forget the cause of my suffering. But knowing Chase is here makes me feel a little stronger. I bring out a couple of dishes, sitting them on the buffet as Mandy and another Omega followed me and the two began to serve the meal as I took my seat next to the Luna. I looked up and noticed Chase had the seat across from me and his beta sat next to him. He kept glancing at me as we ate, and the two alphas chatted. I was surprised when I hear Alpha Jacob say to Chase, "I see my Luna's handmaiden has caught your eye." Chase smiled and calmly said, "She is a pretty little thing." I almost choked on my water. Yes, I do have to agree with you, but she doesn't compare to my beautiful Luna. He says, kissing Stella's hand as I cringe with the slight pain. I didn't know kissing a hand causes pain too. I look up at Chase and he noticed the cringe and looked at me with concern. I heard Jacob chuckle, then looked at Chase. Who knows, maybe while you are here, I just might allow you her company. Now that really surprised me. Just what game is he playing now? I glance at Chase, he looked as surprised as I am. Then he masked his face and turned to Jacob. I just may take you up on that. Since I see you have an interest in her and as a visiting alpha, I do want your stay to be pleasant, Jacob says with a wink and a smile. I desire you, Amy. You are my mate and the only one I will ever want. He says against my mouth. I will want only you too, my Chase. Please take me. I meant my words in more ways than one, but for now, I will take him any way I can. Gladly, he deepens the kiss and reaches back, unzips the dress, sliding the sleeves off my shoulders, and I help him. We look at each other and I mean, wow, what a god. His muscles are so defined that I can't keep my hands off. And to think this god is mine. I smile as he looks at me with desire in his eyes. Now to taste you. My breath hitches in anticipation. One day I will place my mark on you. I say against her skin. Oh, how I desire that. She says, please, Chase. Take me now. As she groans in pleasure. I smile and take her. You are my world, Amy. Always remember that and stay strong until I can finally take you away from here. I kiss her mark again. Promise me that you will. I promise, she says. Mine, you are mine. I growl. And you are mine, she says. I knew she is getting close, as am I. Oh, goddess, you feel amazing, I say after we just done each other. Then I held her until she fell asleep. As she slept, I whispered, I love you already. I will make you a vow to save you and to always keep you safe from any harm. You are my special jewel, Amethyst. Mine always and forever. I closed my eyes as sleep took over me. We both woke the next morning, as through the night I took her 3 more times and once this morning in the shower. As we went down to breakfast, we had to continue to look the part by having my way with a servant instead of a mate. Well, how did you sleep? Alpha Jacob asked as we sat down in our spots at the table. She was everything I expected, I said as I sipped my coffee. How was your night? I asked with a wink and looked at his Luna. It was delicious. I enjoyed every bit of the pain, he said as if he was reliving it, then sighed, taking a drink of his coffee. Well, that verified what Amy and I thought. He enjoyed receiving pain as much as giving it. If only he knew he will be receiving it and more if I could get my hands on him for hurting my mate. So, I gather she was satisfactory. I smile, that she was. I glanced over at Amy as her head was downcast, eating slowly. How would you like her for the rest of the week while you are here? Jacob surprised me as he asked. Again, I glanced at her and turned to him with a smile. I much appreciate that. It will make my visit more enjoyable. It is the least I can do for our ally in arms. He smiled back at me. Then he turns to Amy. Amethyst, I want you to do your normal chores today, then after dinner while Alpha Chase is here you will be staying in his room. She nodded without looking up. Yes, Alpha. She says meekly. Good, now that is settled, we have business to do today in my office. He says addressing me. Of course, I say finishing my meal. The meeting took up most of the day as we discussed the treaty and stipulations. We ate lunch in his office brought to us by Mandy. She glanced my way and bowed as she set a plate down in front of me, then walked over, set a plate down in front of Jacob and bowed, then walked out. As I watched her leave, she frowned in concern, which made me wonder what could be wrong. Later at dinner, I noticed Amy has a bruised face and also on her arms. What happened? I asked, frowning. Jacob looked up to see what I was talking about and noticed Amy with bruises. She probably caused some problems, was his answer while I was steaming inside. Don't tell me you won't want her the rest of the week. Of course, I will. I assume she will still function well. I mean, she is a great lay. I say with a smirk at Jacob. He smiled back. Don't I know it? Then it is settled. You will get Amethyst for the rest of your stay. I will enjoy that, I say, smiling even though I was growling and angry on the inside. After breakfast, I set out to do my chores, but first, I wanted to change out of the dress and into pants. I went to Jacob's room where my clothes are now and changed into jeans and a tee, then went back down to help clean the kitchen. With the passion on my mind with Chase, I wasn't looking at where I was going and bumped into someone who used to be my friend before my parents died. Watch where you are going. Chelsea says with a push to my chest. I'm sorry, Chels, I say as I struggle to stand. Don't call me that. Only my friends can call me that. Forgive me, I say with a bow. Then I feel a hard slap across my face. I will not forgive you. She growls as she begins to hit and kick me. Then one of her other friends comes in. Hey, let me in on this, she says as she begins to punch my face until I can taste blood. Let's see how the alpha likes you now, she says as she spits in my face, and the two walk away towards the game room. I hear Jason and Wayne is in here. I know I feel pretty horny right now, do you, Chels? I sure do. Beating up the slat makes me want to jump Wayne's bones. I know, me too with Jason. Then I hear their giggles fade as they head to the game room. And they call me a slat. I murmur to myself. I slowly get up and head to the kitchen, and as Mandy turns to see who entered, she gasped. Not the new alpha? She asked, concerned. I shake my head. No. Chelsea and her bestie Megan did this. I wasn't watching where I was going and bumped into Chelsea. And they did this, she said, getting the first aid kit. I not allowing her to treat my injuries. I know they will be healed in a couple of days, so I am not too concerned. I just don't want Chase to see me like this. After Mandy attended to my injuries, I finished helping with cleaning and my other chores. I was already sitting on my chair next to Stella when the two alphas entered for dinner in a heavy discussion. As they took their seat was when Chase noticed my bruises. What happened? He asked, and I was almost sure he was about to lose it and give us away. She probably caused some problems, Jacob answered. Don't tell me you won't want her the rest of the week. Of course, I will. I assume she will still function well. I mean, she is a great lay, Chase said as he composed himself to not give us away. Jacob smiled at Chase. Don't I know it? Then it is settled. You will get Amethyst for the rest of your stay. I cringed at his words. I will enjoy that, as Chase says that. I was thinking the same thing. I wanted to smile but knew I couldn't. I didn't want to be the one to give us away. After dinner, I headed up to Chase's room as he had a last-minute thing he had to do with Jacob. So, I lay across the bed waiting for Chase. I must have fallen asleep because I was woken with kisses on my face. I smile and turn to look up at the most handsome man I have ever seen. Are you going to tell me what really happened to you? I nod. This has been the norm for me for the past 10 years. He frowned. You have been abused for 10 years. Again, I nod. It stopped for a while since I found out I was mated to Alpha Jacob. Then today was the first time, and it only happened because I was not watching where I was going and bumped into someone I used to consider a friend. She and her friend did this to me. I am okay, I know I will heal in a couple of days. This is not acceptable to me. You are the Luna of one of the largest and strongest packs in the world. I kiss him, but no one knows that yet. We have to keep it that way for now. He sighs. I know, I just don't like it. I smile. Kiss me and make me forget all this for now. Take me away from all this. And he does just that, and it's bliss. After we just held each other close, and I appreciate that he was gentle with me this time due to the bruising on my body. He is so unlike Jacob, and I am beginning to fall in love with this man. I can't wait until we won't have to hide and I will be set free from the old mating bond. As we lay there, a familiar pain began in my chest. I grabbed my chest and groaned. I am trying to breathe through it as it began to increase. Chase looked at me in concern. Amy. I nodded my head and he knew what it meant. Jacob was going at it with either Stella or more women. I groaned so loud I wanted to scream. Chase held me tighter as he cooed in my ear, I am here, baby, I won't let you go. It hurts, so bad, I say, panting as tears begin to fall. I know, baby, I know. I am here. He kept kissing me over and over, speaking sweet words as I grabbed him and held him tight against me. He held me tight for the next couple of hours when finally the pain eased away. I was so exhausted I fell asleep in my mate's arms. I am fuming as I watch my poor mate sleep after a night of tortured pain. If this is what she goes through all time, it makes me angry. I have to help her break that first bond. I know males are able to reject a female, but I am not sure if it can go both ways. I have never heard of it being done. And if it can, that could be how to break it. Of course he would have to accept it, and I highly doubt he would. And I can't challenge him for the title of alpha to his pack unless he wasn't doing his job properly, and so far, he seems to be doing his job except for what he is doing to my mate. So, what am I to do? I made a promise and vow to her, and I do not intend to break it. There has to be a way to break that bond. There has to be. Why else would I be her second chance mate? Goddess, give me a clue as to what I am supposed to do. I thought to myself as I pull her close to me and close my eyes to sleep. I woke early and showered and changed as my mate slept. Before anyone was awake, I went into the kitchen where Mandy and the other Omegas were cooking breakfast. Hey, Mandy, could you take a tray up to my room for Amy? I want her resting today as she had a very rough night. She looked at me with understanding. She knows what the Alpha is doing to her friend with all the pain and suffering. Yes, of course, Alpha Chase. She and the other Omega bowed to me as I turned to leave. I get to the dining as the others slowly begin to enter for breakfast. Then Jacob walked in looking so refreshed that it angered me more, but I kept my face neutral, sipping my coffee as he sat down. He looked at me and nodded. "Where is Amethyst?" he inquired. "She had a tough night last night, and along with her bruises, I would like her well rested for me tonight." I winked at him, if you catch my meaning. He laughed good and loud. "Yes, of course. I take it she is performing well then." "Oh, better than I thought." Then an idea came to me, which brings up a proposal I would like to make concerning that agreement in the treaty you wish me to change. He suddenly looks at me with a solemn look. "I am listening." "I am so impressed with the young woman, I would like to take her to be my slave for the change you want on the treaty," I say casually, sipping my coffee. I can feel the heated look from Jacob as he contemplates his answer. In my opinion, he would be a fool to pass it up, as it will give him more protection along the borders against rogue attacks, and he knows this. He then sighs. "You need to be aware she is prone to have fits at times." So, that is what he is calling it. Yes, I am aware, as she suffered one last night. It doesn't make me change my mind. I smirk at him as I say, "She happens to be the best lay I have had in a long time." He raises an eyebrow. "Indeed, that is why I am willing to make this offer. She will satisfy my needs while waiting for my mate." "Well then," he sighs, "I guess we have a deal." I smile at him. Excellent. After breakfast, we went into his office to make any arrangements for the new stipulation on the treaty for more protection at the borders, since our borders are next to each other, and for Amethyst. All he requests is a moment to speak with her privately. I am not comfortable about that, but it will be worth it, as I am about to keep a promise and get her away from here. So, I will allow it. As we walk in for lunch, Amy was there sitting next to the chosen Luna. From what Jacob told me about her, she comes from a line of alphas of another pact. It was an arrangement made by his father and her father, and they have actually fallen in love. Well, they are perfect for each other. "Amethyst, I would like to speak with you in my office after lunch," Jacob says, taking a sip of his wine. Amy looked from me and then Jacob and bowed her head. "Yes, Alpha." After lunch, Jacob took Amy into his office for a chat. Of what? I do not know. I was in the living area at the French door that led to the huge backyard and thinking of the day I first saw Amy playing outside when I was a boy. As I was deep in my thought, I failed to hear the soft footsteps behind me until I felt a hand on my arm. I knew it was not my mate because there were no sparks, and the smell was off. "I was wondering if you are into multiple partners for fun." I turned to see the Luna Stella standing there looking at me provocatively. She was now running her hand up and down my arm waiting for my answer. "Luna Stella," I begin. I have to be careful what I say as not to give myself away as to the real reason I was here. "Are you offering?" I ask. She smiled at me and batted her eyes. "Of course, I am." Her fingers begin to walk on my chest. "You see, my mate are into that sort of thing, and I was wondering if you would like to join us for some fun. And I bet you are real fun in bed." She ended with a peck on my lips, and I took a step back cautiously. As much as I appreciate the offer, I am afraid I would have to decline. She tried again to put her hands on me. Are you sure about that? She asked, rubbing my arms. I take her by the shoulders and gently push her away. I am sure. Well, too bad. I am sure it would have been fun, and I know I could have pleased you better than that slave. I am, sure, but I am happy with the little slave, and I may have to leave tonight as I was informed about a rogue attack on my eastern border. Well, that really is a shame. Maybe next time then, she says, walking away. I breathed a sigh of relief and hoped that Peck didn't cause my mate any twinge of pain. I didn't expect that woman to do that. I need to be more careful. As soon as I followed Jacob into his office, he sat down behind his desk as I stood in front. He didn't offer me a seat, go figure. But I never expected to hear the words coming from his mouth. I just made a deal with Alpha Chase. Excuse me? I asked, afraid to hope. He nods. Yeah, seems you have impressed him, and he wants you as his slave. My mouth opened with unbelief. What did you say? I agreed. He is offering me a great deal that I can't refuse. He said, sitting back in his chair. I see. What are you planning to do? You plan to reject me? I asked, trying to keep my voice from sounding too excited. I jumped when he laughed. Of course not. I already told him you are prone to having fits. He gives me a smirk, and besides, I am enjoying the pain too much. It heightens my pleasure. He takes a deep breath, but I will be giving you an alpha order. So, here it goes. He stands and looks at me as he says, I order you, Amethyst, to never open your mouth and tell anyone, especially Alpha Chase Carter, that we are mated and that the pain you suffer is not my having sex with someone else other than you. The pain is caused from you having fits only. This is a secret to be kept as long as you stay at the Sacred Moon Pack. I feel weak and tremble at the Alpha's voice. It is that powerful. He continues, now do I make myself clear? I nod and look down. Yes, Alpha, you can go and pack now. Just as I turn to leave, I feel a sudden quick twinge in my chest, then it was gone. I frowned as I walked out the door, wondering what that could have been. As I shut the door to Jacob's office, I turned and saw Stella walk out from the living area and saw Chase standing next to the French doors watching her. Stella had a smile on her face as she looked up and saw me. She walked over and reached for the doorknob to Jacob's office and sneered at me, saying, "That Chase is a great kisser. I bet he is great in bed too." Then opened the door to the office and walked in, closing the door behind her. Now I know what that twinge was. I turned back and looked at Chase, and he was smiling at me. I felt so hurt by Stella's words that I ran upstairs with Chase calling my name and went into Jacob's room, shutting the door to do as I was told, and pack. Since being in Jacob's room, I was given a few clothes because he didn't want me to wear my old stuff. He had them burned. I set my small suitcase in Chase's room and waited. 30 minutes later, Chase finally walked into the room. "What's wrong?" he asked when he saw my expression. "You kissed her," I said, frowning at him. "What?" "She told me and said you were a great kisser before she walked into the Alpha's office. And I felt it." He shook his head. "She lied to you. She kissed me and it was a peck of a kiss and I backed away from her." He walked near me and knelt in front of me as I was sitting on the edge of the bed. I have no interest in her. None at all. You are my life, Amy, and I would never hurt you on purpose. I am not Jacob. Why did she kiss you? I asked in a whisper, holding back the tears that threatened to fall. Because she was trying to get me to have sex with her along with Jacob. That's sick. Then he laughed. Well, I guess they both are. As for me, I am a one-woman man kind of guy, and I take the mating bond seriously. I looked into his eyes as he said this, and I saw the truth and sighed. Okay. I believe you, and as for Jacob and Stella, they deserve each other. He laughed, and I couldn't help but join him when a stabbing pain hits my chest. Gasping, I double over and couldn't catch my breath. Amy! Chase cries out and takes me in his arms. We knew what was happening. That man is always craved, and he has Stella to appease him. Chase lifts me in his arms and lay me on top of him as he lay on the bed and held me as I squirmed in pain. He kept kissing me and whispering sweet things to me as the tears fell. It's going to be okay. We are leaving here tonight. Then we can find a way to break this old bond. I nod against his chest as the pain slowly subsides and I was able to breathe again. I am already in love with you, Amy, and I promise we will find a way to break this bond. You love me? I whispered, wondering if I heard correctly. He chuckles. Yeah, I do. I have since that first day I saw you when you were a little girl playing in the yard while our parents were in a meeting. What? I said, lifting my head to look at him. I was 12 and I believe you were about 7 or 8. It was here. My parents came for a meeting with your parents and the Alpha and his Luna at the time. I remembered watching a beautiful auburn-haired with brown eyes and a very cute dimple when she smiled at me. I wish I could remember seeing you, but that was so long ago, I said, amazed that he remembers seeing me. You took my breath away that day and I never have forgotten you. You were always on my mind. And now here you are in my arms and my heart swells with love for only you. I take a deep breath and lay my head back on his chest and smile sleepily. I am glad you are here. I speak with a sigh as I drift off to sleep. I held her as she slept in my arms. It seems it helps lessen some of the pain according to what Amy has told me. If what I have witnessed is less, then I would hate to know the full-on pain she had suffered. Could be the second bond between her and me that helps to lessen it. I just hope we can break the bond between her and Jacob. And soon. I felt her stir and then stretch as she begins to wake. You have a nice nap, babe? I asked as she lifted her head to look at me. I fell asleep on you. I am sorry. Don't be. It was nice holding you. May I ask what Alpha Jacob had to say to you? Well, he ordered me, so I cannot say. But it is everything you already know. I nod. So, he was making sure you didn't say anything to me about the situation before leaving to come back with me. She nodded. I understand Alpha's orders and how one cannot break them, the dumbass. I muttered and she laughed. After dinner, the SUVs were loaded up and we finally set out to head back to my pack. It was heartwarming to see Amy hug and say her goodbyes to Mandy and her mate Stephen. Mandy and Amy are very close, and the tears flowed. But Mandy was happy to see Amy finally get away from the cruel Alpha. The Alpha never wanted Amy to have a phone, so I made a promise to her and Mandy that she will have one so they can keep in touch with each other. That brought smiles to the girls. In the SUV I had Kyle drive so I could sit in the back with Amy. The guards drove in the other cars. Oh, my goddess, I can't believe it is happening. I am finally leaving, she says as she sat close to me with my arm wrapped around her. I kiss the top of her head as she lays it down on my shoulder. I am glad I was able to come up with an agreement to be able to take you away. No more being a punching bag. If only I can say no more pain. I squeeze her gently against my side. I know, baby, I know. About halfway to our destination, Amy begins to cry out in pain. Oh, goddess, doesn't he ever stop? She cried out. I reached over and unbuckled her seatbelt and pulled her onto my lap, having her straddle my thighs, with her leaning against my chest. I began to rub her back with one hand and stroked her soft hair with the other, as my lips caressed her neck where one day, I will place my mark. She pants and groans as I try to help ease some of the pain with my kisses and touches. Mark her. I hear Triton say in my head. No, I don't know what it can do to her. I tell him. Now is not the time. I hear him growl at me and fight against me as he comes forward to the surface. I have never had this much problem controlling him. With him in control now, he continues to hold our mate and he licks at her marking spot, then sucks on it when I feel our teeth elongate, and he bites through her neck, marking her. "No, Triton!" I scream at him when suddenly Amy herself screams and then goes limp in my arms. I finally took back control and hugged my mate tight in my arms. Then suddenly my phone goes off and I grab it out of my pocket, look at the caller ID and see Jacob's name. Chase, here. What, man? I wondered if he felt something. Did you mark Amethyst? What do you mean? I asked innocently. I mean just that. Did you mark here? And how would you know if I did or not? After all, she is mine now to do as I please. It is in the contract. I know you marked her. Because I am her mate and I felt it burned like hell on my marking spot. She is mine to do as I please and I am pleased to mark her as my Luna. You can't do that, man. I won't let you. He was angry and I can tell he wanted blood now. I can and I did. May I remind you about the treaty? If you decide to try and do anything, it is a cause for war. Now I am pretty sure you wouldn't want to go to war with me now, would you? I heard him growl and the phone went dead. I looked up and saw Kyle looking at me through the rear-view mirror. Did you mark her? I sighed. It wasn't me. It was Triton that marked her. I looked out the window just as we passed through the border between Blood River Pack and the Sacred Moon. I breathed a sigh of relief as now Amy is under my protection on my land. No one will harm her now. She stayed unconscious for the rest of the trip, and after we stopped in front of the pack house I carried her up to the medical wing and placed her on the bed, calling through the mind linked for Dr. Catherine Bailey. I wouldn't want any male to touch her, so I call the only female doctor I had. What is wrong, Alpha? She asked as she walked in. Long story short, she is my mate yet mated to another, and Triton decided to take it upon himself and mark her, and she passed out and has not awakened yet. Oh, wow. So, she is our Luna. Yes, she is. I need her examined and make sure she is okay. I say, stepping back to make room for the doctor to look at her. I watched as she took blood samples and did some other tests. She left for a while as I sat in the chair next to the bed holding Amy's hand. The doctor finally came back in, and I stood to hear what she has to say. Well, everything checks out except for some old scars. She seems fine. The only thing we can figure out is that the marking had been too much for her system. She just needs a lot of rest. Again, I sigh and smile. Thank you, doctor. I will carry her up to my rooms where she will be comfortable. Yes, of course. And congratulations on finally finding your mate. She bows her head and walks out, leaving me with my mate. I lift her and carry her out the door where Kyle was standing. Your bags were brought up to your rooms. Is she all right? He asked, nodding his head in her direction in my arms. Yes, she is just needing a lot of rest. I am taking her up to our room where she will be more comfortable. I say as I get ready to walk away, then stop. Tighten up the security around the borders, especially the border close to Blood River. Just in case he may try something stupid. My thoughts exactly. I already tightened down the security. When do you plan on letting the pack know we have a Luna? Soon, then when she is up to it, we will hold the Luna ceremony. Kyle bows and smiles. I am glad you found your mate, Chase. I smile back, so am I. Then I walk away and head upstairs to our room. Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.